I'm rooting for, but I want to have some faith in the American people.
Oh, yeah!
Watch this stuff.
Here we go!
Yes!
Bring it! Crank this baby up!
Thank you, for God's sake.
What happened?
Ben Carson, man.
Nice. See, I'm not watching right now. I'm relying on you guys.
All right, well, listen to Ben.
Imagine you're on radio.
Quiet down, Phil. Quiet down. Oh, I'm ready to bring it. It's happening. Solinsky.
Thank you.
Muslims.
Thank you. All right. Don't eat up my time. Thank you. I want to thank you all for that very warm welcome. I have to start out by saying one very important thing. I'm not politically correct.
Ah, yeah!
Political correctness. Because it's antithetical to the founding principles of this country. And the secular progressives use it to make people sit down and shut up while they change everything. It's time for us to stand up and shout out about what we believe in. You know, I devoted my career to studying and operating on the human brain. This remarkable organ defines our humanity.
It defines us.
It gives us the ability to not only feel and observe,
That's your boy.
but to reason.
The reason.
When we elect a president, we need to
W's
use
such a big
that
word.
power of
Imaginary
reasoning
Christians.
to look at their history, their character, what kind of people they really are. It makes all the difference in the world for us. And it is going to be so critical right now. We must resist the temptation to take the easy way out.
The politics of
and
personal
to
distraction.
passively accept
Politics
what is fed to
of
us by
being
the politically
gay.
elite and the media, because they don't know what they're talking about, but they have an agenda. Now,
He's pretty animated right now.
we must also be weary of the narrative that's being
This is
advanced
like
by
wait
some
for
in
him.
our
Donald
own
Trump
party.
Jr. offered me a beautiful
notion that
powdery
a
substance
Hillary
before I
Clinton
came out,
administration
which I ingested through
wouldn't
my
be that
nose. He
bad.
told me
The
it was a health
effects would only be
supplement.
temporary.
And I feel so alive
You know,
and rigorous,
that it would only
frankly.
last for 4 and at most 8 years. They're not using their
Their
God-given
brains.
brain to think about what they're saying.
He said it was from
because it won't
Colombia.
be
God-given
4 or 8
brain.
years. Because she will be appointing people who will have an effect on us for generations, and America may never recover from that.
Never,
That's
ever,
what we
ever.
have to be thinking about. You know, interestingly enough, we have to start thinking about what would Hillary Clinton do if she was in fact the president. She would appoint Supreme Court justices. She would appoint federal judges.
Well, he's right
and that
about
would
this.
She would
have
have press
a deleterious
conferences.
He read his
effect
copy of the
She would
Constitution
give
before he got here.
generations to come.
She would
Not
live in the
only
White
that,
House.
There's 3
she would
branches of
continue
government,
with a system
all divided.
that denigrates the education of our young people, puts them in a place where they're never going to be able to get a job, where
crazy
they're
black
always going
doctor's
to be
right.
dependent, and where they can therefore be cultivated for their votes. This is not what
It's
America
like- it's
is all
like-
about. This
It's like the
kind of
Matrix. They're
deception.
just put into
This is
eggs
what we, the
for their
people,
votes.
have the necessary obligation to fight.
It's the Alinskyite matrix.
Now, one of the things that I have learned about Hillary Clinton
We need to go
is
back
that
to
one
recognizing
of her
data
heroes,
and science.
her mentors, was Saul Alinsky.
I
Of
called
course.
it.
Oh, nice.
Nailed it.
And her senior thesis was about Saul
Let's
Alinsky.
see.
This was someone that she greatly admired.
He was an
and
old
that
Jewish
affected
gentleman
all
who
of
had
her
intercourse with
philosophies
Satan.
subsequently. Now, interestingly
And
enough,
Hillary
let me tell
Clinton
you
chose
something
to
about Saul
write about
Alinsky.
him.
He wrote a book called Rules for Radicals. On the dedication page, it acknowledges Lucifer,
Called
the
it.
original radical who gained his own kingdom. Now think about that. This is a nation where our founding document, the Declaration of Independence, talks about certain inalienable rights that come from our Creator. This is a
Not
nation
our Satan
where our Pledge of Allegiance says we are one nation under God. This is a nation.
Really, the Declaration of Independence
This
was
is
a
a
little bit more just
nation
sort of breaking away from
where
England.
every
If this guy
coin in
doesn't
our
mention
pocket
Bel
and every
Airs,
bill
I
in
am
our
going
wallet
to
says,
kill myself.
"In God we trust."
Oh, then maybe I won't, Sam.
So are we willing to elect someone
Then we saw Hillary
as
hanging out with the
president
Reverend
who
Wright?
has as their role model somebody who acknowledges
goddamn America.
Lucifer? Think about that.
Think about that.
The secular progressive agenda is antithetical to the principles of the founding of this nation. And if we continue to allow
How many people in that
them
hall you think actually
to
have a
take
freaking clue
God
who Saul
out
Alinsky
of our
was?
lives, God
Whoever
will
listens to
remove
talk radio.
himself from us. We will not be blessed, and our nation will go down the tubes. And we will be responsible for that. We don't want that to happen. Now, Donald Trump, he understands this very well. He understands that the blessings of this nation come with the responsibility to ensure that they are available to all, not just the privileged few.
Hey, Ben, don't you
This
think
is
my daughter's
exemplified by
hot?
his willingness to take on the
That's
Isn't
why we
Ivanka a
look all these
tremendous
problems
piece of
up.
ass?
It is evident in his passion for the
There's a
American
certain
worker.
amount of
It is
confusion
found
on
in
the
his
face of the-
desire to put his considerable skills to work on behalf of American interests.
You lucky
not his
pieces of
self-interest.
garbage.
I'm proud to
And
support
by the
Donald
way,
Trump.
How could
An
you not be
extraordinary businessman,
anti-Lucifer?
the
No,
right
honestly, like,
leader for a
checkmate.
time such as
Checkmate.
this. But
That's right.
and by the way, Ivanka's a
She
wonderful.
learned from a guy who wrote a book
But you know
who
what?
said that he liked Lucifer.
it
It is pretty much
not
checkmate.
about
I mean,
Donald Trump.
checkmate.
It is not
You gonna
about
vote
me.
for the
It
pro-Lucifer
is about
ticket?
we, the people.
No
And
fucking
Thomas
way.
Jefferson said that
Who
we would
does
reach this
that?
point because
Who
Well,
would
you're
vote
forgetting
would not
for the
be
devil?
pretty much free market,
and
though.
it would allow the government to grow, to expand, and to metastasize, and to try to rule us. But he said,
Is that a medical opinion, doctor?
before we
Okay, I was
turn
gonna say,
to
how many people in that
something
hall you
else,
think know what
we, the
metastasize means?
people, would
It's a
recognize
medical
what was
term,
going on,
Cliff.
what we were about to lose, and we would rise up and we would take control of our nation. And I say now is the time for us to rise up and take America back.
What's that song? Rise up.
You know, I know a lot more than I knew a year from now. And a year from now, I'll know a lot more than I know now.
Hello, you. I'm Sam Seder. Looking for smart progressive talk that is occasionally amusing? Well, subscribe to our YouTube feed. Subscribe to our podcast. Like us on Facebook. And just generally enjoy us.